September 1st, 2025 is fast approaching. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your family? And what do you need to do to get ready for it? That's what we're talking about in this video. Hey everybody, this is Praxis. September 1st, 2025 is fast approaching, and in this video I want to talk about the potential dangers of that date, which is hurriedly barreling towards us. Now, what is the significance of September 1st? Well, to answer that, let's go back 21 years ago to 2004, September 1st, 2004. For me, that was a difficult day in my life. I had just spent the entire summer preparing to build my first home. This was kind of an off-grid prepper retreat cottage. It was the manifestation of a lot of thinking and planning and dreaming that I had been doing for many years prior. And it had been my hope, my aspiration, my plan that the summer of 2004 would be the summer when I started building that home. But as I'm sure you likely know, whenever plans get made, there's always things that pop up. In that summer, there were all sorts of events that popped up which kept causing one delay after another. In terms of the permitting process, getting a permit to do this, and then after you do that, you need another permit for this, and then you need someone to come and sign off, and this and that. And the entire summer that I had planned on focusing on building my home was spent trying to get paperwork taken care of. And by September 1st of 2004, after the entire summer was essentially gone, I finally had a green light to start cutting lumber and putting nails in it and putting things together. And that was a really discouraging situation for me, because I felt like the situation I was in, with winter fast approaching at that point, by the time you get to September, it's not that long until October, November, December, and then you got snow coming in. It felt like I'd already failed, essentially, that I was not going to be able to get my house done that year, that I was going to have to wait until the next summer to do anything. I'd lost an entire year, just on all of this paperwork stuff. But that's not the way that I reacted to it. The way I reacted to that situation was that I threw myself at the task and just figured, well, I'm going to do the best that I can. And September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd, September 4th, day after day after day, I just kept putting in the work, putting in the effort, asking myself the question at the beginning of each day, what is the most important thing that I need to do right now to get this house, to get this structure completed for myself? And by December of that year, before Christmas, we got the entire house enclosed with a roof and windows on it. And I remember we had heat. We had a stove in there, a wood stove that was able to heat it over that winter, and I was able to continue working. And when I say we, I mean myself and my dad, pretty much. We were just working on it together. I did, I don't know, probably about half of the work, and he did about half the work. And that was quite an accomplishment. It was quite an accomplishment of physical labor, putting that all together. But I think the even bigger accomplishment, the accomplishment that I want to talk about in this video, is the accomplishment of overcoming the potential for despair, to feel like it's done. I've already failed, and I've just run out of time and there's nothing I can do. Now, why is this pertinent? Am I just telling some anecdote from my past that's fun to share with you guys? Many people that come to my channel just think that I just enjoy talking, and maybe this is just a video about listening to me talk about old stuff that I've done in the past. But I think that there's something for people in that story. I think something that I think a lot of people today can benefit from hearing, that even when you're in a situation which seems desperate, which seems hopeless, which seems doomed, I've failed, it's just not going to work out, it's time to just throw my hands up. And in my case back then, it would be like, wait until next year. A lot of people succumb to that, and they do throw their hands up, and they don't continue to put in the effort. And why this is relevant to my channel, why I'm sharing it with you now, is that I think a lot of ways in the world right now, it feels like the whole world is in the beginning of September and winter is coming. And we don't have that much time left. A lot of people that are new to prepping, will think to themselves, and it's appropriate, that the best time to have done this was 10 years ago. And that's true. It would have been better if you're new to prepping, if you had started, a long time ago. You'd be in a better position today. I'd be lying to you if I said that that wasn't the case. But I think it's also a lie to say that it's too late and there's nothing that you can do that will make your potential difficult situation in the future better if you start putting in the effort today. And oftentimes, like the story about myself putting together that house and surprising myself by being in it by Christmas, oftentimes there's more time than you think, things seem worse than they actually are, and your capacity to accomplish things, when you really feel that fire under your butt and you start really managing your time and focusing on a goal, your ability to accomplish things is oftentimes greater than you might give yourself credit for. So yes, the state of the world today, it feels like we're in September 1st with winter barreling towards us. In the story of the ant and the grasshopper, the ant was working all summer and the grasshopper was fiddling away. And that story focuses on what they do during the summer. And we don't have summer anymore. I mean, that's true. There's no denying that. Summer is over and we are in the autumn period right now. But there's an awful lot that you can get accomplished in the autumn. So my message to you is, if you have things to do, if you're me, write a list down. Write a list of things that you want to accomplish, and then start working on breaking that list down into individual kind of goalposts, benchmarks, and start working towards some of those. Don't worry, like if you put together your list and there are 1,000 things on your list, don't worry whether you're going to get all 1,000 of those things done. Even if you just get, I wish I hadn't chosen 1,000. That seems pretty darn daunting. Let's rewind and say that, bring that back to 100. Don't worry if, maybe you only get 50 of those things done, but those are 50 things that you'll have done that you wouldn't do if you just wallow in despair and say, it's just too late, there's nothing that I can do. And like I said, oftentimes you're really surprised, and by the time you need to get that 100th thing done, you may have gotten that done a long time ago and you've set a new group of goals for yourself. So it's September 1st coming down. It's always almost like, it's kind of a personal holiday for me to think about things that I've done in the past. I set up this video right here because my September 1st of last year kind of had a similar flavor to it, because I majorly sprained my right ankle in the spring of last year, and I couldn't do much of anything for the entire spring. And most of the summer, I could kind of work, but I knew if I was working, I was preventing the injury from healing, and I was just delaying the eventual healing of that. So I was really light with projects all spring, all summer, and it was deflating for me, because I'm the kind of person that I get my charge out of setting goals for myself and making those goals a reality. That's what praxis means, by the way. The name of my channel is praxis. It's a Greek word, and the Greek word praxis means taking ideas, and the word praxis refers to the process of taking an idea, an ephemeral just thought, and converting that into reality. That process of conversion from thoughts to concrete things is praxis in Greece. And that's one of the things in life that just gives me most of my energy and enthusiasm, is setting goals, working towards those goals, and watching them be manifested. That gives me an enormous amount of satisfaction. And when I can't do that, it gives me the opposite of an enormous sense of satisfaction. So last year, I was not feeling an enormous sense of satisfaction throughout the summer, because I felt like I just wasn't getting anything done. And this structure behind me, you'll see, is kind of two halves. One half on your right-hand side is a firewood shed. That was pre-existing. And what I wanted to do was to make a little walkway from one side of the firewood shed to the other. It's got two entrances, and I kind of alternate which side of the firewood shed I go into. So one year I go into one side and eat into the wood from that side, and then the next year I go in from the other side. And that way I'm always able to get really, really dry wood, because I'm eating from side to side. So the wood that I'm using is always like about 2 years old. So it just makes it burn better, more efficiently, less creosote getting created in the chimney. So I wanted to create this walkway, but I hadn't done any of it. And September 1st rolls around, and I remembered my own story, that even though I lost the entire summer, just get to it. And I started getting to it, and I was putting together the substructure and put together the deck boards, and I thought it was so beautiful that I didn't want to leave it out in the weather. And I thought to myself, you know, I think I'm going to make a roof over that thing to protect it. And so it's got the roof that you see up there. It's, I'm not sure if you can see from your angle. It's all clear plastic to let the light through. It's greenhouse roofing. And once I created that space, I thought to myself, you know, I need a place for kind of like a workshop. I don't really have a workshop. I've been using one of the greenhouses off of my house. It was just a terrible mess there with tools and screws and nails and supplies and things like that. You know, I need a place to store all that stuff. So I built a bunch of little shelving and cupboards and things on one side. And now I've created this wonderful little workshop space for myself. And that was created after I'd thrown away the entire spring and entire summer to the injury that I had. I didn't lose heart. I didn't lose enthusiasm, and I didn't lose hope that there was a chance I'd still be able to finish the project before winter, and I was able to finish the project before winter. And you can too. I know, again, a lot of us feel like we're behind the ball. Not all of us have you know, a homestead and solar power and a workshop and a giant firewood shed. And I just finished up a giant chicken run this year. A lot of people starting out in prepping and preparedness see people like myself and other people who've been doing prepping for a while, and they're like, man, you know, I'm never going to be able to accomplish that. And you know, maybe you can't accomplish that in a week or a month, but if you just start pecking away, peck away at things, you know, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done. And at the risk of proving everyone right, that comments on my channel that I just like listening to myself talk, I'm going to cut the video off here. Don't let this autumn go to waste. And I mean that both literally of this actual autumn and literally of this autumn of our society. Don't let this autumn go to waste. Make a goal for yourself and start working towards it. You may very well surprise yourself about how quickly and easily you accomplish it. That's it, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe for new videos all the time, and if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so either through Patreon or PayPal.